I mean, that's gaming. I kind of do want to try this Eden one, though. See if it's even better than this. But this isn't that bad if you quit out, honestly. This is the closest save point, right? Here's the question. Pretty sure... Well, yeah, here's the other thing, too. I didn't make all my TP back, right? But... First of all... With that ingot I got... That's a cool 150k. Oh, these are cheap. I mean, not cheap, but I got enough to kill 10 turtles with 1 turtle salary. So, so we're good on that. As for TP, I could actually go down and fight this real quick. About, give me like a quarter of a bar. There's no item that gives you TP, right? You could tell me. Like, this is the fastest way to get TP, right? I have the accessory that gives us TP. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, we could just use this. But I don't know if you can buy those. Let's see. Elixirs. You buy elixirs. Buy a family pack. The one with the bears. Gotta get the double roll. Dude, I don't trust the double rolls, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they definitely give you more. But it says on the package, like, double the 1 roll equals 2 rolls. And I'm like, no, that can't. Yeah, you can't buy those. So that's kind of a rip. That's not, there's no way the double rolls are actually double. I'm thinking like 1.5 max.
That's how it's done.
I feel like this isn't bad. Question is, will this turtle respawn now? Or do I still have to quit out? I have to quit out as well, that'd be a bit annoying. Looks like I do. Alright, let's... Why don't we go try the Eden one? Okay, so I would imagine the fastest way to Eden would be teleport to the Valis Media. Jump in the weird portal. And there's a portal to Eden in here, right? Question is which portal? I'm guessing that one. This looks so different. After being in that field for the past like 3 weeks. Bug won't go away. Are we? Did you put in a different game? I remember farming these turtles for hours to get all the crap you need for the platinum. Pretty wild. I think he's out here, right? Oh. There? Lavit, think about 37-month primer. Thank you, thank you. Feel bad for these guys. Go, I was going cute thing. Still, things are still tanky. They don't do any damage to me, but they're still tanky. Hey, great to have you here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Unless your question is, why is Vanille making those noises? In which case, I don't have an answer. She's Australian. That's all I got. That does what it do, Yugi. Is that what we're calling it? Sensitive? Husband Dory? Amazing how we're so leveled up at this point and these fights are still like kind of obnoxious. think these things could still beat me with a lucky death cast. That's the problem with stagger loop gameplay. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel it as much in this game as I did with 16, where every fight is a 2 stagger fight, unless you're like stupidly overpowered. Kind of a shame. Like, it makes for a it's kind of back to what we were talking about before with Joe. It makes for a balanced game, but you don't really want every game to be 100% perfectly balanced. When it's a single player experience, you kind of want to be able to get strong. Not be stuck in the same loop all the time. I mean, even from like a lore perspective, how are you supposed to be like excited that your character is strong enough to take out some giant dragon if you're just feeling like you're the same power level the whole game? This game especially, I think, really struggles with power curves. Like, it doesn't feel like we're, lore-wise, it doesn't feel like we're much stronger. Sun comes out. Like, we're still fighting the same stuff we were fighting at the start of the game, they just have different colors. You know? The only time where it really feels like you've reached like a new power level is taking out the turtles, I would say. Other than that, even the final hunt is just a reskin of one of the first enemies you fight. One of the first Seath enemies you fight. Yeah. It still takes minutes to take out a goblin. It's not always avoidable though, honestly. Like, that's one of those just game development things. But some games do it better than others, at least. Wow, we can't even one-cycle this guy. It's kind of sad. I probably could have if I had protected him. And then you have games like Final Fantasy VIII where the final dungeon has a freaking brat with like 2 million HP. You're like, what even is this video game? What strange universe have I fallen into? I think I did the math before, and even just Bravera is like almost double damage. With a wild outfit.
This place really...
No, I agree. I think a lot of people agree that staggering is not the best mechanic. I do think that they did it really well in 16, with the exception of like the fact that it kind of removes the need for, like, it removes your feeling of power level, but I still think it's very good in 16. Like, I don't mean to say it's bad, it's just there's parts of it that aren't great, but in general, it is very fun to stagger enemies and kill them in 16. In this game, I think that the stagger is also done really well because it really adds a lot of depth to the gameplay in this game. But I do kind of hope that 16 is maybe the last game we get the stagger mechanic in. I hope that they're not like, well, stagger for life at this point. Yo, let's go Astro. I think we've run out like all of the possibilities of stagger, you know. I forgot the buff. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. So much faster than anything else. You know what I find really bizarre? I didn't realize this till yesterday. But so, as mentioned last week, there's no running away from battles in this game. But if you retry, that's basically like running away from the battle. So basically, running away from battles is just free in this game. You just retry, and then you have successfully run away from the battle. Which is just, like, really odd. Not to mention, you can quit your entire game from a battle menu as well, which is still very bizarre to me. Fortunately, the stagger mechanic in the remake works pretty differently. But yeah, you can definitely say that we've had 3 main Final Fantasy games now with a stagger mechanic. All of which were different, but still stagger mechanics in the end. Yeah, the real problem with the remake is the health gates. No, like I said, I like the stagger mechanic in all 3 games that it's in. I just think that maybe at this point you can move on from stagger mechanic. Like I think if there was another game with a stagger mechanic, I'd be like, all right, that's enough of that. We completely obliterated that turtle. Holy cow!
That's it. I've come up with a new recipe.
Okay, so we can either... Oh wait, there really isn't a good way out of here, is there? Or did somebody said when you go through this door it respawns or something? Like that door over there? But Neil, how did you get all the way over there? What are you doing? So if I can dodge these enemies, I can just respawn them that way. But I might want to actually fight these enemies to get my TP back. And there's a lot of enemies here, so it should be a pretty quick TP game. Oh, I was hoping I'd have more than just this guy. Maybe I should fight the soldiers. Stranger of Paradise has, if I remember correctly, like a stamina bar for the enemy. It's not really a stagger mechanic. I wouldn't call it a stagger mechanic. It's pretty different. Similar, yes, but yeah, I would say that's different enough to be its own thing. Bamboozle mechanic, that's what we need. I'm down for a bamboozle mechanic. I know, I think we want this fight. 4 soldiers. Should be pretty quick to deal with, I would imagine. Ow. Every character is a cat. No, that's Final Fantasy XIV. You already have one of those. You know, you laugh, but there really is a game where everything is a cat. It's called Super Mario 3D World in Bowser's Fury. That was literally the gimmick of that game. Everything's a cat. Even Bowser becomes a cat at one point. Yeah, that's a big boost in TP. Yeah, I mean, this one is still not, like, mega fast, but it's faster. I really wish we didn't need the TP, because I could just hit that save point and reset. That would be pretty fast. Maybe I'll fight this and see if I can get, like, enough TP to do it twice. Because if you could hit that save point and reset, that'd be pretty fast. Pretty squeaky. I like it best when the enemies are treated the same way mechanically as the players. So you like Souls games? Stranger of Paradise? I do kind of like that too. It makes enemies feel less cheap. Like they're not cheating. They're just a better version of you. Fighting games are a good example of that until you get to the final boss and they have some like move that you can't do. You're like, wow. I honestly kind of wonder if I could just, with the Fortisol, actually just win without the summon. Because it would be pretty fast. Take out the legs when I'm already buffed. And I wouldn't have to use TP.
Enjoy yourself?
Wouldn't be this fast, but... Jinpachi. Freaking worst boss in the history of video games. I hate that dude.
You're gonna swerve. We'll see who's left standing. You're gonna swerve.
You think Dark Souls bosses are hard? Go fight some old fighting game final bosses. The boss just literally cheats and doesn't care. Like the whole gimmick was that they wanted you to spend more quarters. It's completely unfair. Nope. Not today. Already at 400,000 CP. How much CP do I have? Okay, so I don't know. I think that maybe, I mean, I would like at least 1 or 2 more platinum ingots because I haven't gotten any yet. So I can upgrade some stuff, like upgrade my earth rings. I got 1, but I sold it. Is there any way to get clay rings? Probably not, huh? I'm kind of split because, like, I want to upgrade physical resistance, but the small GUI just spams Ultima, so I don't think I can just stack Earth and physical resistance. I'll get smashed by Ultima, so I feel like I just do a bunch of Royal Armlets, which I can buy. I don't know. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Then maybe we'll do the Crystarium and then kill a few more turtles and see if we can get some ingots. And then we could upgrade some Royal Armlets and then we can give the turtles another try. Give me 1 second. So let's do this first. And I think, yeah, we'll just stick to Synergist. Thing is, we're not going to be getting a lot of stats from this stuff anymore. Ooh, I got Boon. That's good. Yeah, like these stats are going to be poop for a while. And they're going to start costing a crap ton of CP. These Sentinel levels will be big. Probably do these too. Hey, how's it going, RJP? Also, Chrono, did I thank you for your 115? Thank you, man. Good. Depending on how these turtles go, it's looking like we might not be able to finish today. We'll see though. But today is going to be the finale of the Zombies Master Challenge. So that is super hype. We only have 2 maps to go, and they're pretty short. Alright. Why was Vanille just twirling? So yeah, we'll do some bonus runs next week. And then probably starting on Wednesday, we'll start doing the incentives. So Wednesday will probably be our MTG box opening, and then we'll start the Forbidden Memories Challenge that day too. Wow. This guy guards. Fun mechanic. Yeet. Guard that. Where'd my 4 soldiers go? They're gone. Look at that picture. Whoa. I still think if we just get a few platinum ingots, we should be able to make some equipment. That should get us through the turtle fights. But, I don't know, it's a bit spooky with how strong the small turtle is. There's my soldiers. I wouldn't be any strong against these guys, even if they're at 100%. Nope. Yeah, that weapon is pretty ugly. %drop chance. It's not too great. Although it's up by the accessory, but might be here in a minute.
On the wrist.
I think I am just gonna do royal armlets. I think that's the best play. Stack everyone with royal armlets. Yo, Stewie. Great to see you, man. Oh, I forgot the thing. Doing fantastic. Yeah. Pretty much everyone has hit their goal, though. Yeah, at least it's unique. I mean, we could have the ultimate weapon from Final Fantasy XVI. So, guess we should be happy with what we got.
Enjoy yourself?
Goodest sword. It's kind of strange to me how weak magic is in this game. Seems like all the Final Fantasy games, at some point magic just takes over. But in this game, it falls off really hard. excited about the move. Or is it more of a, well, we're moving? See you, Bone. Have a good day at work. And bazooka. Awesome. It's good to hear. The feeling of a good move. Pretty wild. Yes, we are finishing the marathon today. The grand finale will be today. We have two more maps, and they're both very short. So we will be finishing today. That'll give us time next week to do some bonus runs. But our quest will come to an end today. Swing. Wish you could select the Axe body spray while you're moving. Don't have to stop. If I don't get a platinum ingot within the next like 7 fights, I'm actually going to be negative on money. Yo, what's going, Trev?
Enjoy yourself? On the wrist.
Got this down to a science now. I think it's all in the wrist. Yeah, all right. Yeah, one. It's only ankles. I wonder how much the rock sells for, because I don't really plan on using it. it's worth more. Like, it costs more to buy, but it might not be worth the same amount. Because it's not supposed to be sold. I see the new Dark Souls 3 world record speedrun. But I'd be interested. I like Dark Souls speedruns. I thought about trying some Souls speedruns at one point. They're very up my alley. They're like difficult battles, almost like challenge run style battles, because you're doing a lot of the bosses with like no equipment. And then most of the movement is like big glitches, which is my cup of tea. So it's honestly like right up my alley. Maybe someday. Not sure which one I'd run. Dark Souls 2 is my favorite, so maybe that one. That's awesome, RJP. OG Dark Souls. I still haven't even played OG Dark Souls, though. That's the only one I haven't played. I've played and platinum pretty much the entire series, except the original Dark Souls. I know. Heresy. Fake fan. And I kind of want to play the original before I play... I'm getting a lot of money items from the soldiers, too. I just realized. How was that a preemptive strike?
You're gonna squirm.
I forget what I was saying. I was taken aback by this weird fight. I totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah. Oh, I remember. I kind of want to go back and play the original instead of the remaster. But I don't know if that'd be a good idea or not.
End of the road.
But if I play the original, then I have an excuse to play it again and play the remake. Remaster. I'll tell you one thing though, if you ever think about playing the original Demon Souls before playing the remaster, just play the remaster. And also, just don't play Demon Soul. Just play a different game. Yeah, I've heard that. That's kind of why I'm thinking maybe I should just play the remaster, but I don't know, it would feel weird doing that. I feel like I'm locking myself out of an experience. Because if I play the original, then I'll definitely want to play the remaster. But if I play the remaster, I'll probably never play the original. Oh yeah, the Souls games have amazing music.
Enjoy yourself?
I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I think Bloodborne might have the best music in the series. Yay, nay.
We'll see who's left standing.
Really? The weakest?
You're gonna swerve.
Now that's gotta be a hot take, right? Let's go, Chrysler.
You're gonna swerve.
There's probably no definitive answer. It's probably just whatever game you like the most. What's up, Marsh? We're talking about Dark Souls, so feel free to leave. I won't judge you. You here for the finale of the Zombies Master Challenge? The final 2 maps? Oh my god, where's my ingots? Alright, we're just gonna... How much money do I have? I really want like one more, but I don't think we're gonna get it. God, those sell for nothing. Alright, I got 400k gil. I mean, that should be enough to upgrade. I mean, I'm only upgrading equipment, so it's not going to be as bad. Oh my god, Royal Armlets are 200k though. I got the code red. I could get the N-Tight ring, because that's all elemental resistances, and that includes Earth. Alright, we're just gonna game. We're gonna game. We're gonna video game. I'm gonna save here in case this is all a disaster, and then we can just load this save. What do you mean Dark Souls doesn't have music? If you're saying that the Dark Souls series doesn't have good music, you have not played the Dark Souls series. I feel like that's, like, incredibly apparent. Is it like a... Is it a common occurrence to just look at a game that has, like, a big budget and be like, that doesn't have music? I feel like I've heard this take a lot, and it's not a very good take. A lot of the biggest budget, super popular games that are meant for the casual audience have like some of the best soundtracks. For example, like literally any Zelda game. Or literally any Mario game, actually. Have you heard 3D World's soundtrack? Or like Horizon Forbidden West is like a big budget Hollywood blockbuster cutscene heavy open world, let's make money off the casual audience game, but it has some of the best music ever. Like some of the most well-made, in-depth, thought-provoking music. Now, are there big budget games that have very forgettable music? Yeah.
All on the wrist. End of the road. All on the wrist.
No, no, this is a. I just took your comment and ran with it because I've heard this take before. Like, the reason you said that as a joke is because that's actually something people say. You know? Like, I guarantee you've heard that in a YouTube comment section somewhere. I have too. It's kind of a wild take. I mean, I get where it comes from, though. Because you have a lot of games that are just kind of... They just don't really think about the music as much, I guess. Because they're more focused on what makes money. This might be a hot take, but I was going to say Assassin's Creed. I know Assassin's Creed has good music, but I don't hear it anywhere. Like, I never hear people saying, like, oh, that song from Assassin's Creed. Like, it's more of just good while you're playing it, but I don't ever hear it outside of the game. I'm sure it's good, but yeah, it's kind of forgettable. Like, it's not your typical banger soundtrack that you're gonna, like, go out and buy separately. I mean, a lot of games, a lot of big budget games just kind of have, like, more ambience music, you know? Or they just use music that already exists. Like GTA or even like BioShock Infinite uses Fallout. Use a lot of music that already exists. I think people just choose to take a side and ignore everything else. Bro. How are you gonna just summarize the entire internet in one sentence like that? How are you gonna just drop that giant nugget of knowledge on us? I talked about this a lot during the Final Fantasy XVI playthrough, how, like, Final Fantasy XVI's music is good. It's even great at times, especially, like, near the end. But it's so, like, we've just moved so far away from, like, the big banger soundtracks that are way more, like, catchy and, you know, like things that you listen to and you think of that game. Like, I could play you a Final Fantasy XVI song and you'd probably not know it's Final Fantasy XVI right away. Unless it's, like, the battle theme, which you heard 1,000 times. Like, music has become way more, like, kind of like movie soundtracks, where it's just kind of ambience in the background. And it's kind of supposed to blend in. Like, a lot of the music in 16 is meant to blend in. You're kind of meant to not hear it. You're meant to, like, know the music's playing, but it's not supposed to take away your attention from what's going on the screen, right? Which is the exact opposite of something like the NES, where a lot of the music was meant to be 50% of the experience. You know, the music's supposed to get you into it. The music's supposed to be super memorable and catchy, and when you're done playing the game, it's supposed to keep playing in your head. So the next day you're like, I gotta play more Mario. You know? So it's just kind of a different... I think people like to say, like, oh, the music composers of today aren't as skilled as the past ones. I don't think that's true. I think it's just the idea, the whole, like, way that music works in video games is just different, you know? The whole idea of how to create a soundtrack for a game is just the goal is different, you know? Yeah, for sure. I agree, Kiwi. There's more to sound design nowadays. You have the rumbling of the volcano in the background or something, and the brushing through the grass, and the enemies making noises, and the wind blowing by, and there's so much more to like think about with the sound design, whereas back in the day it was like, okay, you have sound effects and you have the music. You know, that's it. Like, you have the sound effect your character's making, maybe the sound effect that enemy's making, and then the music. So the music was much more important to their overall experience. I feel like you're really blanket statementing the NES, Ire. Like, I get what you're saying, but that is quite the blanket statement just to say that all NES music is ringtones. That's kind of nuts. I get what you're saying, but that's kind of a wild take. And if you feel that way about NES music, then just go one more generation further to SNES. Then you definitely can't make that statement. I was just using NES as an example. But yeah, music was so much more important back in the retro days. Like, I would even make the argument that a big part of why games were successful and memorable and addicting was the music. I mean, imagine Mario without the Mario music. Like, would it have been as memorable and addicting without beep bop boop beep beep ba doop beep 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 ba boop? Like, I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Oh no, get some stuff. That first time you go to 1-2 and you hear da na 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 na, it wouldn't be the same. And same with like Final Fantasy 1 too. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do. Can you not remove equipment? Oh, there we go. Yeah, let me just remove everything. Okay. Alright, so first things first. Genji Glove on YouTube. Although, honestly, I don't even know if we're going to be doing max damage. Probably not. Well, yeah. No, when we staggered the little turtle, we were doing max damage. Okay. So we got... Why is this above those? Let's give everybody a physical resistance. Right, but like, some games have definitely gone too far with that, and we don't really get the same amount of memorable, catchy music anymore. Which like I said, I wasn't even trying to say it's a bad thing. It's just more of something that I noticed while playing 16 was, like, Final Fantasy 16 is a great example because it's a sequel to games that had very catchy music. You look at something like Horizon Forbidden West, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. But with Final Fantasy 16, you can directly relate it to the previous games and be like, every Final Fantasy has some catchy banger battle music. Every Final Fantasy has some super bombastic, epic final boss music. Every Final Fantasy game has some catchy chocobo theme. And, like, you can even look back at the games and, like, kind of remember, like, oh, yeah. Like, if I asked you right now, what's your favorite chocobo theme? you could probably name it. Like, you could probably say, like, oh, the Final Fantasy VI one is my favorite one. Like, you actually remember what it sounded like, even though they're, like, just Chocobo themes, and they're all pretty similar. You can literally remember the differences, right? And you just can't say that about, like, the newer games, especially, like, 16. Like, 16, 17, 18, if we continue to have the same type of music, you're not going to tell the difference between 16's Chocobo theme and 18's, you know? Like, they're all just going to kind of blend together. And in general, like, a lot of the music in a lot of games are the same way. If I played you Assassin's Creed 2 music versus Assassin's Creed 3 music, I'm not sure you could tell the difference unless you're a huge Assassin's Creed fan, you know? And that's Assassin's Creed. Those are older games, but yeah, it's just different. Like, music's just different. And it's not necessarily bad. In fact, I would agree with Ire in saying that, like, listening to newer video game music is easier outside the game than some older, like, NES music. Like, it's easier to listen to one of the open world themes from 16 than it is to listen to, you know. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just interesting. It just makes me kind of miss when music was more catchy because it was more memorable, but we can look back at it and say it's probably better, like, more well-rounded music, I think is probably the best way to put it. I wouldn't say that newer music is more skilled or better music than old music, because the old music they had less to work with. But I think more well-rounded maybe is a better way to put it. Yeah, that's not even mentioning the fact that there actually isn't really a Chocobo theme in 16, but okay, so let's do Imperial. Royal. Royal. Let's give you a second Royal. And then we'll do... I think I'll give you a Witch's Bracelet. I'll give these to the Earth Resistances. I'm a little worried about our magic resistance, though. Like, especially lightnings is bad. But we will get a bit more when I upgrade them. Hey, look, it saved data 13. Honestly, though, I gotta give 16 credit. It really does have, like, good ambient music and then, like, a few bangers thrown in. Like that one boss theme is super catchy, and the final boss theme is, like, very bombastic, like your typical Final Fantasy final boss music. And then the rest of the game is mostly ambient. Like, I think we could have had one or two more, like, super catchy bangers. But other than that, I think there's a pretty good balance, honestly. The only thing that's really missing out of 16 is, like, a catchy mini-game music. Like, there's no Chocobo theme. There's no, like, fun card game music. There's no, like, fun mini-game music, because there's no real mini-games in 16. So, like, we're kind of missing that, because every game has that, like, oh, man, the card theme from 8, or the Chocobo theme from 9, or, you know, has that, like, fun music that you listen to and it reminds you of the game. There's kind of nothing like that in 16. I can't play you like a fun, goofy song from 16 to make you feel nostalgic for it. It's just kind of all the samey kind of thing. Like when you listen to a big, epic song from 16, it's cool and it's good music, but it doesn't necessarily make you want to play 16. When you listen to the Chocobo theme in 9, it makes you want to go play 9. You know what I mean? Or you listen to the card theme from 8. It makes you want to go play 8 and play cards, you know? Okay, so let's level up this. Oh. I guess that worked. Wait, can this... We can't upgrade this, right? Metal! Thank you for the 100 bits. Good to see you, man. I mean, there's a reason that Uematsu's music is played all around the world in concerts to people that don't even play video games. On another level. The man's just a musical genius. It really has nothing to do with video games. Like, it just doesn't. Like, I mean, it does, but it didn't have to. Like, he's just a musical genius. You listen to him talk about, like, the way that he made One Winged Angel, and you realize, like, none of that had anything to do with video games. Like, it did, but it didn't have to. And most of his inspiration is away from video games as well. Okay. What else can I level up? And these are already, like, pretty much as good as they're gonna get. Guess I could level this up. He could have been John Williams and did movies, but we got lucky. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Guess I should have got the multiplier higher. Sorry. Over it. Alright. Let's see what we can do. See if I can remember where the small turtle is, first of all. I gotta say, I didn't really like this Chocobo theme when I first heard it, but it's growing on me.